What's up guys, I'm DK, and today I'm going to be talking about the latest Funko Pop leaks that have surfaced across social media via Scarlet Joker, which features Funko Pops expected to release in early 2027. For this video, I will be diving into not only ones that just came out the last couple of days, but I'm also going to incorporate the ones that were featured in the month of June because I never got to do a video on those. So without further ado, let's kick off with the first set of June leaks with Biddy Pops, which we got Five Nights at Freddy's, Bluey, Ghostbuster Biddy Pops, and then an assortment of Biddy Pops of either the various 4-packs or the towns or rides from Harry Potter, Hello Kitty, Justice League, One Piece, Poppy Playtime, Star Wars, The Simpsons, and Toy Story. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I'm not entirely a fan of Biddy Pops in general. I don't really see the hype for them, especially with how tiny they are. The only one I would consider getting is the Biddy Pop ride of the RC card with Woody, because I do love Toy Story Pops. I do have the OG Pop that came out in 2019. So to get the miniature version is cool, but it's something I'm gonna have to really think about. We have Pops for various Will Ferrell movies, starting off with Talladega Nights, where we got a specialty series Jean Girard and a 2-pack of Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton Jr., and then Step Brothers with Brendan, Dale, and a 2-pack of Brendan and Dale, more specifically Prestige Worldwide. Now this is really awesome, especially for the newer fans that weren't able to obtain those OG Pops from way back in the day, and especially with the 2-pack for Step Brothers, where I hope for some reason that on the top flap of that box that there's a hidden Easter egg that says Boats and Hose. MCU Archives with a nanotech cybersuit Iron Man and Steve Rogers chopping wood. These are okay, I guess. I mean, we've had tons of Iron Man, and then I'm like, do we really even need Steve chopping wood as a pop? Transformers, where this set includes Grimlock, Mirage, Optimus Prime, Prowl, and Wheeljack. Kind of like what I mentioned about the MCU Pops, they've made so many Transformers Pops, especially the same ones of, let's say, I believe Optimus Prime and Grimlock. They've made quite a bit of those Transformers already. Star Wars 50th Anniversary Pops with Medal Ceremony Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, Han Solo with Blaster, Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, and a moment of Luke and Leia. It's crazy to think that it'll be 50 years of Star Wars as of next year in 2027, and I can tell you I'm not hyped about these at all because of what they did with the 45th anniversary set, where it's taking some generic Star Wars Pops we saw, and then when it came to Star Wars Celebration that year, they re-released those exact same Pops, but then added silver bases to them. So that's kind of the mindset that I have going in with these Pops, and that it's nothing going to be too exciting, especially for a huge milestone of the 50th anniversary. We got Pops of Hololive with Hakos, Bales, Nanome, and Hoshu. Should have done a disclosure at the beginning of this video that with anime or anything really Japanese related, I am going to be so terrible when pronouncing names, so I apologize in advance for some anime Pops that we will definitely talk about throughout this video. New Has-Been Hotel Pops with Adam with Chase, Husk, Niffy, and Vox. I know a little bit of Has-Been Hotel because U2's made a bunch of figures before Funko, and then Funko had some figures that were announced and released later on, and those ones look cool, so I do expect this new wave of Pops to also look as cool as the original. We got Voltron Pops coming out, where we have black, blue, green, red, and yellow lions. It sounds cool, but I'm gonna have to see glam shots of how these look later on to further justify my opinion of these. We got Rurouni Kenshin Pops featuring Kenshin with Chase and Mikado. We got a one-piece Pop Nook of Zoro in Crow's Nest. I'll never commit to the amount of episodes that there are when it comes to One Piece, so I have no opinion of these, unfortunately. We got Elden Ring with Alexander, Blade, Melina, Ronnie, and a premium of Rodden. I guess it sounds cool. I can't exactly further my opinion on this. In the last leaks for June 6th specifically, we got Pokemon with Chikorita, Nido King, Nido Queen, and a premium of Vaporeon. Now I'm really curious to see how this Vaporeon premium is going to look, because when it was the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, Funko did release a set of figures for the different evolutions, and I have a feeling that they're just going to take those moldings and then now transform them into Funko Pops. Now for the June 13th set of leaks, we got Australian and exotic animals of flocked wombat and platypus, a capybara, and a red panda. Now already we do have the flocked Pops of the kangaroo and koala bear, and those Pops are pretty cool, so I'm not surprised that they're kind of going along with this line as well with more animals. We got anime style MLB Pops with Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers, Paul Skens from the Pirates, and Jackson Churio from the Brewers. I don't watch MLB or really any sports, and around these parts here in Canada, we don't talk about the LA Dodgers after what happened to our Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series last year. We got pops for Ghost of Yotai with Kusune, Oni, and Snake. Might be a video game, or maybe I'm mixing it up with something else, but I guess it sounds cool. I don't really know what to say about this though. We got a pop of River Song from Doctor Who. People were excited about this because it's been quite a while since we've had Doctor Who pops. We got a pop rides wave of Fast and the Furious with Dominic Toretto with the 70s Charger, Dominic Toretto with the 87 Buick Grand National, and Letty with the 66 Stingray. Now, my brother is a massive fan of the Fast and the Furious franchise, and when I showed him this leak, he was not too fond of the pops that are coming out. And I don't blame him, because I know that in the very first wave of Fast and the Furious, there was already the 70s Charger with Dominic Toretto. While they can make other cars in the series like Brian O'Connor, his car from the very first movie, like the green or the orange one, or even the car from Too Fast, Too Furious, which is actually one of my personal favorite cars. I apologize, I don't know the name of cars. I'm not really a car guru. Twilight pops with Aro and Carstyle Cullen. Not really a fan of Twilight, but I guess it is cool that a new set of pops are coming out because it's been like 10 years since the last wave came out. We got Lord of the Rings pops with a glow-in-the-dark Galadriel, Blog, Radagast, and a Rides of Dane Ironfoot. I have not watched Lord of the Rings since probably they literally came out in like the early 2000s, but they've made some pretty cool pops for this movie series, so I'm excited to see what these at least look like. We got Shangri-La Frontier with Sun Raka and Akitsu. Judging by the pictures that I'm looking at, these could look pretty cool. We got American Dad pops coming out of the pipeline with Stan Smith, Steve Klaus, and Ricky Spanish. I think it's definitely a long time coming to see something like American Dad, because we've had similar TV shows be turned into pops like Family Guy and Futurama, and especially The Simpsons. And speaking of Family Guy, that's the next set of pops we're talking about, with Peter Griffin, Brian Griffin, Meg Griffin, and Glenn Quagmire. Now, half of these characters had pops before in the OG wave with Peter Griffin and Brian Griffin, but it is the very first time that we're getting pops of both Meg and Quagmire, which it is really cool. And I'm actually wondering, once again, kind of like what I alluded to with the Step Brothers pops, if maybe there's going to be an Easter egg on the Quagmire box that says like giggity giggity. We have Jeff the Landshark pops where he's going to be dressing up as Spider-Man, Thor, Venom, and Wolverine. I guess Jeff the Landshark is going to be the new version of Deadpool. We're going to milk the hell out of him by making him as different Marvel characters. This is just going to be terrible. I'm already calling it. We got Marvel Token Fighting Souls pops with Iron Man, Doctor Doom, and Ghost Rider. I don't know if this is related to the comics, maybe a video game, but I guess this seems pretty cool. We got Dark Knight Trilogy pops with the Joker heist with Chase, a deluxe Batman in Rubble, and a deluxe of UV the Joker in jail. Usually they kill it with the Dark Knight pops, so I'm expecting like kind of high hopes when it comes to this. We got K-pop Demon Hunter pops with a specialty series exclusive Rumi and PJs, a Flock Derpy with Susie that's specialty series exclusive, and a Nook of a glow-in-the-dark Derpy in Rumi's room. I have yet to see K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't even know if it has the same hype as it did, let's say, at the beginning of this year, or maybe even the end of last year. And the last set of leaks for June, we have pops for Gachikuda, which we have Rudo, Engine with Chase, Zanka with Chase, and a premium of Rio. Once again, this is definitely an anime because I butchered the out of these names.
Shout out goes to the unacceptable viewer.
And the reason that they ended up getting a shout out is because they joined our YouTube channel membership, which only cost $1.99 a month. Not only do you get the shout out, but you do get lots of other perks, including early access to every single video and shorts that we produce on this channel. So definitely consider joining our YouTube channel membership. It will be greatly appreciated and it will go a long way of helping out this channel a lot. So definitely consider it, but let's get right back to the video.
And now starting with the July Funko Pop leaks with a Diamond Collection Michael Jackson Dangerous Live 1992. I'm not surprised that they're making more Michael Jackson pops considering of the success of the new Michael Jackson biopic movie. We got ourselves Michael Jordan from Space Jam, and it is about time that we actually have an MJ from this specific set. People have been clamoring for this for God knows how long, probably even when I first started collecting pops in like 2015, 2016, when the first wave of Space Jam pops came out, and people are like, where's Michael Jordan? Where is he? Well, now we finally have him literally like 10 years later, but hopefully there's still enough hype now that there was back in the day, considering of a lot of hardcore fans likely leaving the Funko game. We got WWE pops of AJ Lee, Dominic Mysterio, and a fake retirement Mark Henry. Not surprised that they're doing AJ Lee because of her current run or her latest run in the WWE. The Dominic Mysterio is a cool idea because I would love to see one with like the mullet and the stash, which they didn't do in the previous one. And then fake retirement Mark Henry, if you know, you know. Salmon jacket. It's actually a great idea for a Mark Henry pop. We got Star Wars droid pops of flying R2-D2, K3PO, R5-D4, and Mouse Droid, and then a 2-pack of Battle Droid and C3PO, all being metallic. Now, this seems like a very cool idea, especially the very last one, if it's what I think it is. And what I'm alluding to is from Attack of the Clones, when C3PO and a Battle Droid's heads get mixed up and are on the other body of the specific droid. This is going to be an amazing 2-pack. Definitely would be one of the best Star Wars pops, in my opinion, in the last few years. We got South Park Make Love Not Warcraft pops with Cartman, Kyle, Stan, and Kenny. I don't really know what's going on here. Obviously, I know what South Park is, but I'm going to assume this is some sort of collaboration with World of Warcraft where it was featured in an episode. We got new Godzilla pops coming out with Godzilla, Mothra, Hedorah, Jet Jaguar, and King Caesar. Now, I will admit the last year or so, they've been really killing it with Godzilla pops, especially with the couple that are releasing for San Diego Comic-Con this year. So I'm excited to see what these specific ones look like. We got pops for Heated Rivalry with all-star variants of Elia and Shane, Kip Grady, and Scott Hunter. Now, I don't know if maybe this is tied to the recent Funko Pop announcement of Heated Rivalry, where it's just concept art and not full-on glam shot, or if this is something that's coming out after those specific pops that just got announced get released. We got Like a Dragon Yakuza pops with Kazuma and Ichiban. I don't know what this is, so let's move on to the next one. We got new Nickelodeon pops coming out with a glow-in-the-dark variant of Danny Phantom and Dark Danny, a metallic Godder, a metallic Jenny XJ9, and then Lincoln and Luna Loud. So this is a pretty decent set of Nickelodeon pops. Godder from Jimmy Neutron, that's absolutely amazing and makes sense to be the metallic specification. We got a Jester version of Hatsune Miku with a chase. Not entirely too sure what the chase could be. Judging by past Hatsune Miku related Funko items I've seen, maybe it's Diamond Collection, maybe it could be glow in the dark. We got Haluva Boss pops with Blitzo, Millie, Moxie, Stolas, and Luna. Judging by the photo that I'm looking at here, it looks like it's something related to Hazbin Hotel, which if that's the case, these are going to look pretty cool. Now for some anime pops, we got My Dear Friend, Witch Hat Atelier, One Piece, Blue Lock, Dragon Ball Z, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, and Kajuro Bachi. I said all those all at once because I knew I wasn't going to talk much about them, but judging by some of the ones I saw, they do seem cool. And last but not least, we have another wave of Pokemon with Cyndaquil, Garchomp, Tyranitar, a premium of Jolteon, and a Jumbo Morpeko full belly. Once again, like I alluded to with Vaporeon, I'm really curious to know what the Jolteon premium is going to look like. Anyways, let me know what your favorites are down below, but that's gonna be it. Peace out. See you guys later.